Everybody. So, you can't believe it. I am at Walmart Destin right now. And I just bought gas yesterday. And I'm buying it again. But you cannot believe it is just screaming high. Uh, I looked at something on the news. Flash thing, something in it was saying, yeah, Biden's gonna have it $4. I guess so, especially with all this war stuff going on and everything. Even though they say we're the richest country around, you know, they're gonna save it for war or something. But the fuel, I just paid $3.69 a gallon on regular. Look at diesel. Now this is pitiful. They can't get any tractor trailer drivers to drive already. And now here goes the fuel at $4.19 for diesel. You know, that's a majority of how we get our products is tractor trailers. So I just don't know. It just is getting pretty wild. Hurry and get out of this joint because tourists are starting to come back now. There was an Alabama speeder right there. 35 miles an hour over here, man. So, I gotta get myself a lane. But, yeah, I can't believe he was getting started high. I just saw this, truck, and on one side it was like GMC, and on the other side it had a big red sticker on it that said Cadillac. And I remember my banker, wow, look at that light swinging like that. I suppose a tractor trailer just hit that. That's just too strange. And there's like really no wind. I know it keeps shaking. What the heck? I wonder why that light's doing that. Oh, get out of here before it breaks off. Whoa. Super creepy. But anyway, yeah, my banker, he had this really nice truck, you know, and I had just bought a new Cadillac. And, when I first met him, we were talking one day, and he says, "So that's a sure nice car." I said, "What kind of car are you driving?" He said, "Cowboy Cadillac." I said, "Oh, Cadillac too." And then later, I saw his vehicle, and he had like this really expensive truck. It was just beautiful, and it had all the wood trim inside and the cover on the back, and really nice. And I said, "I thought you drove a Cadillac." He said, "Yeah, I do. It's a Cowboy Cadillac." And I was like, "Oh." And it wasn't a Cadillac truck. He just called it that. So I laughed, and I saw that sticker on that guy's truck a minute ago. I said, "Wow, that reminds me of my buddy, the banker that used to say he drove a Cowboy Cadillac." Oh, I hope we can get out of here in time. Traffic's now starting to pile up. I can't believe that fuel is so high. I was like, maybe I made a mistake and put the high price one in, you know. Because I was at a pump that does diesel and regular. But, $3.69 over here it's $3.54. That doesn't make any sense. Because Walmart is usually really cheap. And then your next cheapest is Dodge's. And then the really cheapest is Sam's, but you have to be a member. Well, it looks like they're cleaning the water park up, getting ready to open it. They should have just left it open. it's just tourists just been here all year round for like 2 years right now. Mostly because they moved here. But now, there's a lot of them that have appeared on the streets this week. And I'm like, oh no. Getting ready for spring break because it's the busiest time of the year for dead stuff. I mean, the restaurants are staying lit, and so are the stores and stuff. There's lots of people. My friend that works in the hospital was in town this week and works for the military hospitals, and he was complaining because he got a hotel out in Shalimar, and he said, man, you know, the other night I couldn't get anything to eat. And I said, just order DoorDash. He was like, nah, I don't like to use credit cards online, especially when traveling and stuff. And I was like, okay. And he said, yeah, I worked so late the other night that when I got back to my hotel, I decided to go out, you know, and get something to eat. He has a real nice rental car all the time. And he said everything was closed. And I said, well, I mean, I said, yeah, sometimes on that side of town it'll close up, you know, kind of early. There's only a few places. I said, but, I mean, you know, on 98, everything's open until like 2 in the morning, like Thai Spice. And God, his 76 is $362. I just paid $369 at Walmart Disney. And that's always usually the cheapest. So, anyway, they're in line already at the donut hole. So anyway, you know, I said, well, you know, Thai Spice, you know, they'll serve food like all day long that they're open. And that's a bar with dancing and stuff too. And I said, you know, and then you got Fridays, they stay open pretty late. Chili's, because I do DoorDash. And like Chili's, their last food order is like 11 o'clock sometimes. And he's like, well, not where I was at. Actually, he said his hotel was between Shalimar and Galpee. I said, well, I wouldn't depend on Galpee for anything. That place just turns into a ghost town in the evening. So, I've been up there in the daytime and the restaurants were closed. I've tried repeatedly to get in that taco place, and it's never opened. Since the day it opened, I've never been able to get to it. So, the camera's falling down. Do. Sorry about that, you're driving sideways. Oh, that Asiago side is vacant again of that restaurant. No Gumby today. That big giant Gumby on the left usually. It's like overhuman size, is so cool. Oh my gosh, Cash just bought that building. He's tanking it up with those liquor stores. Dude, if you want to get out there, I would suggest you pull on out because you're not going to be getting out anytime soon. If you don't stick your front paws out there. Sounds like they're working on the road over here. This is why I'm gonna eat some of this hamburger. This is so weird. I've never had to wait this long at this light, and I had like gone through this light like for 5 years. Come on, let's go. Drive in your car. Oh, they're digging up the asphalt over there at parking lot. Jeez. So, I got the heat on. I gotta turn it down a bit cold. Too hot. So it's pretty warm already. It'll probably be 70 in the next 30 minutes. It's Crab Island, nobody's there. Knock, knock. Who's there? No one's home. So, I don't know what's going on. My Etsy shop is still scribbled up. But, it's okay. I'll be teaching some classes today anyway. My eBay's still rolling, but I've only got El Cheapo stuff and cheap stuff to ship because I don't want to get any really expensive stuff because they don't pay you till after the customer gets it for the first 30 days, so I don't want to have too much money hung up because it usually takes them, now I don't know if they've improved it any in years, but it usually takes them, once you enter a tracking number, and then once they receive it, it usually takes 2 or 3 days after that to actually get the money transferred from eBay, so that's a long time to wait for your money to be out on the product, but anyway. A lot of junk on the side of the road. So they hired a bunch of new sheriffs in Okaloosa County, which like covers like Tuscan, Fort Walton, Shalimar, all that, and then on top of that, there's like 30 cars down at Santa Rosa Mall that are geared up for law enforcement. Because you know that car lots store a lot of their cars over there. They pay rent for the parking lot. The mall doesn't have hardly any shops in it. They gotta make some money somehow. Rent out the parking lot. You can get in there cheap. They got a new management company over there at Santa Rosa too. Santa Rosa Mall and Mary Esther. So if you're looking for a storefront, I would definitely call them. They got the signs on the parking lot for the phone number. Well, nobody's parked here today. I was over here the other day and there was a big old truck or SUV looked like it was stuck in the sand and the people weren't in the car. And I saw some people walking down the way and I'm like, dude, this is government property right here. You don't want to get on any trouble screwballing around here because this is no parking. Even though you think it's parking, it's not. Not on the ground, not on the asphalt. You have to go up here to these beaches, go in there and pay a fee and stuff, but this is government property, and you really get in trouble. It's not just with the police, it's like with the gaming reserve and everything else. And especially right in here, this is all where the hatching is, and there's signs all over, but people don't care. They'll still just go right through there. But they keep this for the hatching of the turtles and birds and stuff. Not supposed to have people going through there. It used to be a cool place years ago when they had the yacht club there and a tiki bar and dry dock, shipyard, little hotel. Used to be really neat here, way back. A lot of fun. Again, I've said this a million times. If you're a member of Elks Lodge and you're traveling, they usually allow RVs. So if you call them in advance and ask them and say, hey, look, I'm going to be in a Destin area or wherever you're going, and say I got an RV and I'm a member, what's the deal on staying there? Because they usually let you stay there free. And it's pretty convenient because, the Elks Lodges have kitchens, drinks and bands and stuff like that. So, but it's a cheaper way if you have, like an RV, because otherwise it's very, very expensive. In this area, you have to go out to like Mossy Head, Valpy, actually not Valpy, like Mossy Head and Defuniak. They've got some places you put RVs out there and it's like $40 a night. And then if you're military, you could stay at some of their military ones for like free for 2 weeks or something, or it's $20 or some darn thing. All this used to be a big RV park all the way through here before they put this convention center up. And they got a heavy metal band coming to the convention center, I think this next month. Right, Island Ink Tank too. That used to be a total thing a long time ago. There used to be the two across from each other. It was really funny. The guy was pretty smart. He's getting the traffic coming one way, getting the traffic coming the other way. There used to be a little post office on Oakless Island a long time ago. And it was down by the Little Tom Thumb that's still there. And that was kind of cool, but they took that out. Traffic. Yikes. See the tourist plates? Told you. They're creeping in here already. I've got to go see that girl that has the coral reef. I used to dress her a long time ago with the Sammys. She saved all her money and bought that store. She's a showgirl there. The one that I made the gunny sack outfit as a joke for. And I used to describe her to people. I said, that girl's really good looking down there at Sammy's, boy. You guys got to get on down there. And one country guy goes, she's so good looking, you put gunny sack on her and she could wear that and she'd still be good looking. I'm like, yep. And I actually made that girl a gunny sack outfit. It was a riot. And she made money and it was so funny. So he's like, what's that made out of? I'm like, Once she came off stage, made a bunch of what's that made out of? I said, it's gunny sack. What's that? And I'm like, they carry feed and the stuff in it. But it's a clean one. It was clean. I hadn't used it yet. It was brand new. I got into a farm feed place and where they bag the stuff up. And I had got one that hadn't been used yet, but I still had to clean the fabric before, I used it, but it was hilarious. And she did wear it well, by God. That girl was built. Really nice lady. Somebody's on it, I can't see because I gotta turn way to the other side. I'm driving. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Man, there's usually a ton of cars over here at the water company. Stagecrafters presents Blythe Spirit. I wonder where they're doing that. Maybe it's over what that looks like a school next door. Slim Chickens, look, they've already got the marquees up, the lights on. They built that fast, right next to Daisy. And that hotel's about falling down. It really needs to be condemned. That thing. I stayed up on the second floor recently, and it's terrible. And I've always loved that hotel. This is a piece of caca, the Holiday Lodge. Don't go there. Really bad news. That's every time I've ever been up there in the last 15 years. I've come in town to use that. Or attempted to use it. Great location, but really sorry hotel. And weird things go on there. Man, I had a weird thing last night with a tractor trailer. I was boondocking. All of a sudden, I'm hearing this tractor trailer get closer and closer to the car. A real small area where I was at. And I'm like, what the hell? And it was the same tractor trailer that was parked by the buildings because they come in at different hours. Usually they'll come in at 3 or 4 in the morning. And then start unloading about, 4 or 5 or whatever. And this was like about midnight. And then this guy, I'm like peeking out of my windows, I got my shades down, and I got black windows in the back. And I'm peeking out, and this tractor's just creeping up behind my car. And I'm just sitting there. And that was super creepy. And then he decides to back up for like 600 feet back to where he was at. And then he sat there for a little bit, and then the brights go on. I'm like, what the hell? But I think there's a lot lizard running around with a car like mine, because there was another strange situation like that in another boondock place I go to, and I saw the car come up and go to 2 different tractor trailers, and it looked kind of like my car. And they'll talk on those radios and then make their arrangements and junk, and they're not at truck stops. So I was kind of creeped out. Really creeped out. And then I had a really bad nightmare. It scared me to death. Somebody broke into the offices while I was there. Well, that was really scary. You gotta put more solar on that house. He must be making it like bacon. Man, I can't believe how high the fuel is right now. I knew it would get higher. I think we're going to be looking at about $5 a gallon pretty shortly. Especially with this strange war going on. That's messy. And Biden will be sending all kinds of money to Ukraine now. If they hadn't sent enough already to everybody. everybody else. It's 35 to 40 on some of these spots on 98, and these people just speeding away. And some are actually local tags. Oh my, oh my. So it's going to be like in the 70s and 80s all week during the day. The nights are starting to get a little bit warmer. They've been around the 40s lately. Even last night was like 40. I think the max was like 47 in Destin. So, and then it's going to start getting really hot. Make sure to set your alarm if you're boondocking, because you don't want to be in the car. It takes about 15-20 minutes to die when you get over that limit of temperature. Just remember, it's always hotter in the car when it gets hot. So, do watch your temperatures before you go to sleep at night. Set your alarm on your phone or whatever you got, because it's not worth dying over. Life is hard enough as it is. I'd love to go down to the beach today and block it, but I gotta work. Can't get a day off, man. No days off. This just opened, this Piedro's, and that thing is so successful. I heard it's got an all white interior. Pedro's Tacos and Tequila Bar, and it is busy every night. And then this thing is never really busy, but it's starting to get busy. The JC Seafood on the other side. I've thought that JC Seafood was going to take this building, but they didn't. But I know a girl that works over here as a waitress, and she says she's making $600 to $900 a day in tips. I find that kind of interesting. And then she says the owner brags about all the time, and that's one thing you don't want, is when the owner knows you start making money. Well, I'm not going to start tagging you bad, other than all that stuff you already have to pay out. So, man, I can't believe I put that gas in. Put $10 gas in, I hardly have any. Man. They still haven't put anything in where that old T-Mobile was. It was really bad over at San Luis. The pawn shop. Got about 3 pawn shops over on this side of town. So I don't have any super successful boondocker stories, because people are really struggling right now. Rents are so high. I do not see them coming down anytime soon. They were for a minute, because landlords were having trouble renting to people because the rents were just so jacked up, and the people would stay 2 or 3 months and move. So, you know, that's the last thing you want, is a lot of transients. You want to try to get a good tenant and hope they stay forever. And so obviously that is not working. So the rents are just like 100%. It's double across the United States right now. My brother is trying to make arrangements down to move me back to California, and I'm just like, I just don't know. So I'm going to stop over here for a moment and talk to you guys and see what's up. Well, it's too early to go get the Chinese food over there. Anyway, let's see who's on here. Who is here? Who is here? Who is here? Type something so I can see the messaging, because that's the only time I can see it. can't get it to come up. And I hope everybody's having a terrific day today. It's a lovely day in the neighborhood so far, except for the price of gas. There's somebody. Weird weather highs in the 70s and 80s and 50s and 40s at night. No way. You typed, woo, yay. Let's see. Oh no, hi. Roxanne, BB's Adventures. Oh, is BB and them on here? Hey, Roxanne. Inspirational Nomad. Yay. $4.15 a gallon. Gotta sell a lot of those used panties. Laugh a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I got one account that's hung up right now. I don't know what they're going to do with it. It's a mess. I have some family in Florida. Yeah, good morning to you. Well, you have a good day. Gotta go. That's BB and them. BB says that Sam's Club in Lakeland is at $3.59. Sam's Club. Like I said, they're going right now to go get some gas. You better fill up, buddy. I'm going to tell you right now. You better be filling up, man, because it's triggering. I just bought gas last night. And it was $3.50. Like $3.49 or $3.50 at Tom Thumb in Fort Walton. So, yeah. So everybody fill up, please. I don't have the money to do it myself, so I wished I could. But you never know what today brings. I might have the money by the end of the day. I've got some people coming down to pick up a mower, hopefully, today. Had some bonehead sent me a thing, said, well, I can PayPal you, and I had some cash. I can PayPal you, is that let me pick it up after hours? No. We sell 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. 7 days a week. That's it. And today will be the last day unless I get all the storages paid up, because I'll be locking them up tomorrow. I just need to get that other stuff sold. I only have a few pieces left that need to be sold that are big. They're taking up room. Because it gets on my nerves. Missed auction again for about the third or fourth month. Just couldn't spare that dough. Somebody making a bunch of noise on my blog. Let's open other windows. Let's see. The high this week is going to be 86. Really? Man. Man alive. Yeah, we're starting to get into that summer weather already, but it was really hectic the last month. I mean, it was in the 20s and 30s over here. Just really kooky weather. And it stayed warm most all the year, too, so it's kind of an odd year. But, yeah. California's had really weird weather. My brother's telling me, like, oh, you know, it was really cold today, or I'm like, man, they had really strange weather out there. I don't mind, I love warm weather, sick of the freezing. Yeah, I know, when I was working in Memphis for some years when the money was really flying back then, I'm going to tell you, you know, I can't stand that. Icicles of snot. That cold weather is like you got to ice skate to work. It was so wretched. And that's a big city. I mean, it gets iced down. You can't drive in it. I was just leave the car parked, especially when the stupid people come out. You always get some bozo who thinks that they're just going to pass you and they're in a hurry, and they go ahead and they do it, and they're waving their hands and all that crap, and then, you know, 2 blocks up, you see them where they've spun the car around and hit like 10 different things. Because they don't understand you can't drive like that in that weather. You know? You have to have an extreme amount of patience and be very, very careful. So, but, and then the different varieties of ice, you got that black ice, you got all different varieties of ice. So you got to really watch it. Watch that temperature. That's the biggest thing. I remember one time I was driving, I had a deadhead to Atlanta to go dress some entertainers. And I was called in from Huntsville. Alabama. And so I left after I got done running. As soon as it got slow enough to where there wasn't any money, I went ahead and shut down early instead of staying till closing. And deadheaded my brand new caddy out there at Atlanta. And I get out to the expressway by Columbus, Georgia. And I was like the only one out there. There was only like two other cars that I saw at that time. And it's like two in the morning at that time. And the temperature gauges had just come out on the cars. The digital on the Cadillacs for the outside, and this one had a really nice one, and um, so I could get the indoor outdoor temperature. And man, I kept watching that thing dropping, and I thought the car was broken. And it was only about 3 months old, and I'm the only one out there on the expressway, deadheading to Atlanta, and truckloads of money I had to run for. They would call me all over the states, and I'd give an ETA when I'd be there, and all that. So, man, it kept dropping, it kept dropping, it kept dropping. It got down to 3 degrees, and I'm looking at the road. I'm like, I wonder if it's rained recently over here, because now I got to look to see if there's black ice, which is very hard to see. You literally have to have like a light reflection to see if there's black ice, and that's some bad stuff, pal. And it got so bad, and the car started acting weird, and it made me really nervous. So I turned around and went back into Columbus, Georgia, and stayed at the truck stop there and worked there. And that was when it was like a 24-hour gig. You could work Columbus 24 hours a day and make bank too. So I didn't go in until the next day during the daytime into Atlanta, and made my money, had a great time, and try to get into some other clubs, which is so hard to do. Most all those places out there have like house bombs and stuff, and I didn't feel like doing any events either, so I just made my money in about 5 hours and got out of there. Went back to Columbus. So I have a good friend of mine that owns 3 clubs out there, big money. And we sit around and talk at his club. The guys bring the clothes in, set them up on racks, and we sit and talk for 2 or 3 hours, and he's like, I'll take that, and that, and then he hands me cash in the thousands, and it's like, thank you. And then the boys load me out, I tip down, and I'm gone. Mario, my friend Mario. But anyway, so well, got to get to work today, so I'll be teaching more today than I'll be doing listings. I don't want to list a lot of stuff on eBay of any great value just yet, so I don't get caught on the shipping. I've just got light stuff on there right now, so I think I'm just going to leave that as it is pretty much. I might list a couple pieces. I just made some jewelry pieces for the St. Patrick's that I was going to list on Etsy, but I think I will be listing. Oh, Etsy's got a new thing now where they're trying to get where everything's handmade again, which it's not. And so I don't know how that's going to go. You have to have all handmade or vintage, which that's basically what I have. And I had some other seller yesterday who goes, well, maybe shop was closed because, you do those glitter shoes. Do you really make those? And it's like, yes. I sure don't buy them like that. But anyway, so it's starting to get a little hot, and I have got to get to work. So I hope you guys have a really great day, a profitable day. Do some kind for a stranger. And I promise I'll be back and see you in the next one. I love you guys.